Good morning, guys. It's Grace. Today I have Delilah and Sweets with me. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Today's video is going to be about one of my personal favorite things, my fish. I mean, obviously they're tied with all of my other animals, but all my other animals are more of a co-ownership with someone. My fish are my fish, you know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you about my experience getting to where I am now. And as I talk about my fish, if I have pictures of them, I will put them in there for you to see. So we're going to start from the very beginning. So when I was little, I had fish here and there, but I mean, you know, like every little kid, they didn't really last that long. Then a year ago, maybe, I could double check that actually, but I think it was about a year ago. I went to a swim banquet for my sister, or maybe it was less than a year ago. It might have been, sorry about that, Delilah wanted to leave. Anyways, so I went to the swim banquet with my sister because she was on the swim team, and they had goldfish as centerpieces, which at the time didn't really faze me. Now it, you know, kind of bothers me that they would do that, because I've learned a lot more as I was getting to this point. So then at the end of the banquet, they said if you want a fish, you can take one home. So I took home the two that were the centerpiece for our table, but the thing was you couldn't take the bowl they were in. And so I brought them home in little plastic cups, and I put them in a bowl when I got home. And I named them Marshall and Garden. So they were the kind of start of this whole thing of where I am now. And then I kept them in the bowl only for like a day or two. And then I ended up buying a 10-gallon tank at Walmart for like 30 bucks. It came with a filter and everything, and I put them in there. And then I know that I shouldn't have kept them in a bowl. At the time, I would say I did not know that. And I know I probably shouldn't have brought them home if I didn't know how to take care of them the right way. But honestly, they would have gone somewhere just as bad as, you know, they would have ended up in a bowl regardless, is what I'm trying to say. But since they came here, they ended up in a 10-gallon tank. So I think that my house was maybe a better option for them. But anyways, I have not ever kept a fish in a bowl since then. And then I ended up getting a couple more fish to put in my 10-gallon tank, which would be Pete and Cerebellum, who are currently in this tank. So I'll show pictures of those, or of them. I know that I probably should not have kept 4 fish in a 10-gallon tank. Like I said, this is a whole learning experience for me. I know now that I shouldn't do that. So then Marshall and Garden ended up dying for unknown reasons, probably ammonia or something, because I didn't know about that either before I, you know, started this journey. So then I was left with Pete and Cerebellum, and both of those fish, I forgot to add, I got from Walmart, which I know I probably shouldn't have done that either, but you know, what's done is done. I can't change that now. And they're living long, happy lives. I've had Pete and Cerebellum well, Marshall and Garden died. This is all 2018 stuff, just so you know. Give me a sec. I should have had this open to begin with. Pete and Cerebellum were brought home in June of 2018. And then, so it's been about 6 months that I've had them. A little more than that, actually, maybe like 7 or 8. And they're living very happy lives. They're very healthy. So, Marshall and Garden also died the same month that I brought them home. And then, I ended up looking on OfferUp, I believe it was, and I ended up finding, I was looking for a 100 to 200 gallon tank, and I found this one. It was listed for 200, I think it was listed as a 200 gallon tank for like $100 or $150, which is really good. It also came with a stand and a bucket full of rocks, which is a amazing price for a fish tank. And then, so then when I went to go look at it, I was messaging some girl, and she told me, okay, come to this storage place at, you know, whatever day to come look at it. So then I went over there. There was no girl there. So I went in to talk to one of the workers at the storage place, and I asked him, like, you know, do you know this, I don't remember her name, but do you know who she is? Because she told me to come here to look at a fish tank. And he goes, oh, that's my fish tank that she's selling for me. So he went and showed me the tank. He then decided that he jumped back and forth with how many gallons it was. He said it was 150, and then I asked him, I said, I thought it was 200, and he goes, well, I don't know why she would list it for as a 200 gallon tank, because it's not. And then after that, he ended up saying it was a 200 gallon tank again. So I have no idea how much it actually is. I just know it's between 100 and 200. I just say it's 100 though. And then I put that in my room in August. So Pete and Cerebellum were in the 10 gallon tank for like 2 months before I put them in there. When I bought the fish tank too, he also sold me a light for $40, so that was good. And then also in August, I brought home Archie and Remy. They are fair fish, which I probably will get hate for that as well. But they're living, one of them, I did win one of them at one of the games. I will admit that. The other one was my sister's friend's, and she didn't want it anymore, and she was going to leave it just in the street. And so my sister brought it home so that I could put it in the tank. And then they both are, you know, alive and happy. And then in September, I brought home Bengal, Texas soy sauce, and wasabi. Those I got at a local pet store. When I got them, though, they didn't have big bags, and Bengal was a pretty big fish to begin with, and she couldn't even turn around in the bag, that it was so small. And then they put all 4 fish in the same bag, so that kind of threw me off a little bit. And then soy sauce is a bristlenose pleco, so he has little like spiky things on his nose, so when they got him out of the thing, his bristle, you know, the things on his nose got caught on the net, and he's kind of like shaking the net trying to get him out. He didn't realize he was stuck. So I was like, not very happy with my experience there, but you know, things happen. You live and you learn, right? So anyways, all 4 of them are happy and alive in the tank as well. So I have 8 fish in my 100-gallon tank. And then with my 10-gallon tank, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, my sister at the cheer banquet, they had betta fish as the centerpieces, and they raffled them off at the end, and my sister got one, and his name is Sushi, and he was kept in a bowl for a very long time. And then once I got the 100-gallon tank, I put Sushi in the 10-gallon tank. And then there's currently a Pleco in with Sushi right now, and they get along perfectly fine. They don't fight, they don't do anything. And the Pleco that's in Sushi's tank is named Cooper, and I got him from PetSmart, which I know I shouldn't have done that either, but I've had my experiences with PetSmart, and you know, I probably shouldn't bag on them on YouTube, and I'm not going to, but you know, like I said, you live and you learn. So Cooper's my only fish from PetSmart. I have 2 from Walmart and 2 from the fair, and then the rest, well, a couple from banquets because they decided to make them centerpieces, you know, stuff like that. But that's pretty much my whole experience with the fish, and they are all happy and healthy fish. So they're right there, that's why I keep looking over there. Anyway, so I'll put pictures, I'll try and put pictures in the video as I talk about them. If I didn't do that, if you're at this point and you haven't seen pictures of them, they'll be at the end of the video. I'll put some other stuff at the end of the video of the tank, if you want to look at that. But yeah, I think that's it. So if you have any questions about my fish, or my experiences getting where I am today, feel free to comment below. If you have complaints about anything I've done, feel free to comment that below. Also, I probably already know though, so you know, just feel free to do what you want though. I also wanted to throw in some little things about how I know a lot of people just are kind of like, oh, you know, it's a fish, who cares? But fish are so much more than that. I mean, if you're gonna own a fish, don't have the mindset of, oh, it's just a fish, who cares? Like, you don't have that mindset towards dogs or cats or, you know, snakes or whatever you might own. So you shouldn't have that mindset towards fish. So don't own fish unless you are truly going to care for them and love them like any other animal that you might own. Also, if you are going to own a fish, do not keep it in a bowl or anything like that, because that is very bad for the fish. It will stunt their growth and also make them have a lot shorter of a lifespan than normal, because goldfish should live for like 10 years, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But goldfish are supposed to have fairly long lifespans, so if you keep them in a bowl, that's going to be shortened very significantly, and it's just not good for them. If you want them to have a good life, you know, get them a tank that's big enough and do your research before you get one. And for all you people out there who are like, fish are fish, who cares, then please just take my advice and don't get a fish unless you can properly care for it the way it needs to be. And like I said, do your research, because fish are just like every other animal out there. They need to be loved and cared for just like a dog would. So there also have been studies that fish are good for your health. They're very stress relieving, and I agree with that. Just watching them is very calming. So fish can do so much more than you think. So I just wanted to throw that in there as a little PSA to everybody watching. Don't impulse buy fish. Don't buy fish before you do your research. Don't buy them if you aren't going to love them like every other animal on this planet. And don't buy them if you just think, oh, they're fish and who cares. And that goes for every other animal too. Don't buy a dog if you're not going to be able to love and care for it the way it needs, or if you don't care about it, you know, or a cat or a snake or turtle or guinea pig or, you know, anything like that. That, I believe, is all I would like to include in the video. Like I said, if you have any questions, comments about my fish or anything, feel free to comment that below. I will be more than happy to answer. I will see you guys on Friday, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. And